Yo, what's up guys, the Insane Game Freak here, and here I am today. I'm going to talk about DLC, but I'm not going to really talk about DLC for other companies. This is specifically for Nintendo, because some of you fans are now contradicting yourselves, and there's something that's just really bugging the hell out of me. So, let's get into it. So for those who don't know, there's been this petition and just kind of things going along the lines. Ever since Smash Bros. 3DS was released in Japan, we got the full character list and the stages and the music. Pretty much everything from that game has been ripped. And there's been rumors that there supposedly is DLC coming. But there have also been very many rant videos considering on which characters. I'm not going to spoil who, if you haven't seen it, and some of you may have not seen it, I don't want to do that to you. Because maybe you're going out of your way not to see the spoilers. But the whole point is some people are mad that certain characters did not make it in. This is what pisses me off, is that now everyone's clamoring that Nintendo should do DLC for the extra characters. Now one of the characters, the Ice Climbers, didn't make it, and I had to spoil this because this actually was an article within itself. Sargai had to go out and explain that the reason why the Ice Climbers weren't in is because they couldn't work in the 3DS version. They were fine with Wii U, obviously, but the 3DS couldn't handle them. And this is what started this whole rage DLC talk. Because now it's like, well, why wouldn't you get the Wii U exclusive version? You know, why wouldn't you get the Wii U version Ice Climbers? Don't limit the Wii U version just because the 3DS version doesn't run. Which is funny to me because people do realize that this is the only way you're limiting the Wii U version. Like, literally, this is the only way you're limiting the Wii U version. I'm pretty sure the Wii U version will have more music, will have more stages, will just be an overall better experience. After playing Smash 3DS, I can tell 3DS is obviously going to be the inferior version. That wasn't even a fucking question. But what's pissing me off is how quickly people are jumping on this DLC bandwagon. And what I don't understand is this is the only game I know of, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, that people are actually mad that that both versions of the game have the same roster. See, usually when you make a handheld and a console version of the same game, it's so people, no matter which console, which version you're on, can have the similar experience. Well, the Wii U is going to beast the 3DS in literally every other area, so the only thing they could keep the same is the fucking roster, and get the 3DS some exclusive modes. So why in the fuck would you get mad that they're trying to be fair to both owners? I don't understand this concept of, oh, well, I don't like the fact that certain characters were excluded. That's the other thing about Smash Bros. People gotta stop looking at Smash Bros. As a traditional fighting game. It's not a traditional fighting game. It's a party fighting game that has a it's kind of like the Pokemon games in a sense. It has its surface level fun and its deep ass meta game. That's the two levels Smash Bros. Chills on. Plus that Smash is a celebration of Nintendo's history. So I never understood why people got mad that certain characters were cut. Ice Climbers, for all intents and purposes, the fanboy for Ice Climbers comes from Smash Brothers anyway. It's not like you were in love with Ice Climbers before. It's not like people don't know who they are now. They've been in 2 fucking games. Plus that, it's like Sakurai said, it's not like they're getting a game anytime soon. Part of the fun of Smash Bros. Was the fact that we didn't know who was getting cut and who was staying. You gotta remember when Smash Bros. Was first announced last year during E3 2013, we thought a decent number of characters weren't coming back. We didn't think Lucario was coming back. We didn't think Ike was coming back. We didn't. Actually, some people didn't think Lucas or Wolf were coming back. That's part of the fun because you know some characters will be taken out and some characters will be put back in, and it makes things interesting that way. I understand that, you know, you would rather get more bang for your buck. Also, I can't stand, there were a few videos that pissed me off where people were like, oh, see, this is a weak roster because you didn't add the clones back in. Because, for all intents and purposes, the characters who didn't get added back in, for the most part, were clones. Even if they weren't like... See, this is the thing people have started doing. They have, like, a unique character, a clone character, and a variation clone character. The variation clone character is usually the character who pretty much is a clone in terms of its basic animation and looks in terms of attacks, but there are slight variations. There are like enough of a variation on their attacks to justify them as a variation character. Even though technically, I don't give a fuck what you say, even with those slight variations, it's still technically a clone because the animations and the moves are pretty much the same, you know, plus or minus a few little differences. And what makes me mad is that people will get mad at some clone characters, but you don't get mad at others. It's like people, it's like, you want to give Lucina a pass, and granted, I love Lucina. I am so motherfucking happy Lucina's in there. But you can't give Lucina a pass and then hate on the other clones, or vice versa. You know, hate on Lucina, but not hate on the other clones because of where the other clones originated from. Also, you gotta understand, they try to do it by a franchise basis, so it's like, Mewtwo being in here seemed kind of irrelevant. But look, I understand that Nintendo's been doing relatively well with the DLC, has been approaching it in the right way. I think the only DLC people are kind of iffy about, at least recently, would be the Hyrule Warriors one. And I'm not personally mad about that one, particularly because it's not like they didn't give us some free DLC first. I think we got two packs of free DLC. The first one included the new mode, the changing and some of the, like, you can now just turn off cutscenes entirely and all this other stuff, and you get the 2 new weapons, the pixel, you know, the 8-bit sword and everything. And then the next update we get in October, I think, is the one that gives us the 3 characters in the game, you know, Sia, Volga, and Wizrow. Granted, they should have been in the game anyway, but it's not like I have to pay for them. So it's like, you give me a $20 season pass, which, for a third-party-ish game, this is kind of important, because if the Wii U owners know anything, we don't get DLC support for, like, most third-party games. Granted, it's kind of like more of a second-party game, but you get my point. It was good for them to let us know that the game is going to be supported for, like, until, like, I think, what, February or March is when the last DLC pack is? But I don't understand this crap, because then you had people who got mad at the Mario Island Golf Tour DLC, you know, where the game was like $10 less than normal, but the DLC was $15. It gave you like a shit ton of courses, a shit ton of characters, and they were done in packs, and the whole thing was $15. So when all said and done, you spent $5 more than a normal 3DS game, and people thought that was bullshit. So why in the fuck would you clamor? So you have people like that. So why the fuck are people like on this DLC dick riding shit all of a sudden? The game hasn't even come the fuck out. You don't even know everything yet. And people are already screaming for DLC. And then people go, well, why do people sit there and buy the Call of Duty packs all the time? Because apparently when it comes to Smash Brothers, you guys don't you give just as much of a fuck as they do. You have no problem getting DLC day one. And so that's what pisses me off. Because some of you would still be mad if they did that, if they released DLC day one for Ice Climbers and Nest. Because then it's, well, not Nest, like Ice Climbers and Lucas or some shit. Because then it's like, oh, you took that out of the game, you should have put that in the game. Like, then people would have said that was unfair. So it's like with DLC, there's a delicate issue. And to me, I think Sakurai, it was smart just to have the roster be the same. That way, neither fan base feels like they're being cheated out of a character. I also find it hilarious that just because there isn't crossplay is the reason why people are mad. It's like, if there was crossplay, then I wouldn't mind if the Ice Climbers weren't in it. But I'm like, okay, fine. So I understand the technical reasons why that is. But at the same time, you're telling me you're mad that they kept the roster the same because you know nothing else is going to be the same. You know the Wii is going to have its own modes. You know the Wii is going to have better graphics, a bigger music selection. Like, the Wii is going to be an overall better game, but you're mad that the roster is fucking different. Also, considering this has been like one of the most diverse and best rosters we've had, and for those who are curious, how many characters did they cut from Brawl to here? They cut, I think, 5. 5 fucking characters. Actually, not even that. I don't even think it was 5. I think it was like, because some of them were from Melee, some people were asking for. I think they cut maybe like 3 to 5 characters. And how much extra ones did we get from Brawl to here? 12. We got twice as many as they cut. And people are still mad at that fucking roster just because certain characters were introduced. And I'm like, look, I understand we've gotten great DLC, but you don't want Nintendo to start abusing it, or else you guys will start getting mad at it and you won't buy it. The same thing. So I don't understand, why are you pushing for DLC so goddamn early? The game hasn't even fucking come out. And just in general, stop clamoring for DLC. That is not it's a business practice that's used as an extra, which then brings up the whole thing of, you know, obviously you don't want them to take a part of the game out and treat that as DLC, but then people will get mad at the release dates for certain DLC packs. Like, for example, the Mario Kart situation. You have one coming out in November, you have one coming out in May. God, guys, why is it taking so long? Because they haven't fucking made it yet. They're not done with the tracks yet. They're not done with the characters yet. This is what you'll get if they actually make the shit after the game is made, so you guys don't feel cheated. Technically, the game came out in May 30th, and the first DLC pack comes out in November. That's about, about 6 months? 6 months from when the game released, and now you get your first DLC pack. And all of a fucking sudden, it's like, God, the time lag is horrible. Well, yeah, because they're not doing what most companies do, which is ripping the fucking, the shit out of the game already and charging it to you as DLC. But then you'll get mad that it takes too long, but then you want it early, but you'll get mad at that because it feels like they ripped it out of the game. So I'm like, what the fuck do you want? This is why I say people, like, this is the contradiction that's going on. You clamor for DLC, but you want a certain type of DLC. And then it's like, oh, when I try to treat you fairly, you don't want that shit. Because it's like, oh, I'm trying to give you the same roster so the 3DS owner doesn't feel shafted like the Wii U, because the Wii U owner has more characters. Oh, no, that's not fucking cool, though. Fuck me. I want you, Sakurai, to make a game in which one version is painfully superior over the other, pretty much making the other version seem irrelevant. What logic is that? What logic is that? I don't understand that shit. Why would you get mad that he was treating you fair as a gamer? This is the only time I've heard of this. I've never heard of a fan base getting angry because he made the fucking roster. Now, if he wants to do that later, I'm not even saying I'm mad at the concept of having DLC characters. I'm just saying, I feel like if he's going to do that, I feel like he should just make exclusive characters. And this is what pissed me off. People didn't say he should make just exclusive new characters for the 3DS version. No, people just said they want Ice Climbers in the Wii U version, and then the Wii U version should get more characters than the 3DS version. But, well, look, I don't have a problem with him doing DLC later, and him being like, well, but I feel like, to be fair, he should make it where one character is exclusive to the 3DS and one character is exclusive to the Wii U. Like, if you're going to put Ice Climbers in the Wii U version, put a character that's not going to be in the Wii U version. Still try to keep it balanced, because then it's like, oh, well, you get an extra character if you fucking buy the Wii U version. The 3DS version is already going to be worse in all areas. Controls, looks, music selection, stage selection. The 3DS version is already inferior in almost every way. And the game isn't even out yet, and I can probably tell you that for a fact. The Wii U version is going to be better in every way. So why would you take the one thing that they're equal in, their roster, and just fucking stomp on it? People kept acting like, oh, you're limiting the Wii U version because you set the roster the same. Yes, because everything else about the game is going to be exactly the same as the 3DS. No. No. And that's what I don't get. It's like you act like DLC is this big thing. You make fun of people on the 360 and the PS3 and the PS4 and Xbox One for buying in the bullshit DLC, but you're trying to get the company of choice to make bullshit DLC. You want them to release Ice Climber, and you know it's not. And see, the thing I respect is that somebody found a glitch that shows that he actually did intend to have Ice Climbers in the game, because I think it's a glitch with, like, what is it, the Villager and... It's the Villager and someone else. No, I think it's I think it's the Villager and Rosalina and Luma. You can glitch it out where you'll actually hear the chant for, like, Nana and Popo, which are the Ice Climbers. Which means he intentionally did have the plan to put them in the game. That's the type of shit I respect, because at least I can see he put the effort in. He was all gung-ho about the Ice Climbers. The reason why he didn't do it, because he wanted to be fair to the gamer. I find that hilarious. I find that fucking hilarious. That when he tries to be fair, and see, people think it might be, defensible shit, but I just find that ridiculous. You guys are asking for DLC for a game that isn't even out yet. Like, as of right now, neither of you don't have the 3DS version or the Wii U version, and you're already asking for DLC. That's the other thing I find kind of weird. Listen, wait until the fucking game comes out before people start asking for DLC. And then, obviously it has to be the type of DLC you like, so even if he fucking does do it, it's going to take a while. And then people start complaining about the gap in time. It's like, oh, why does it take so long for them to come out with the DLC? Because the DLC isn't just already made. It isn't the pre-made DLC. It isn't the DLC that should have been in the fucking game. Which is kind of my whole thing with Hard Wars is kind of like standard for that reason. Because some people feel like some of that shit should have been in the game. But honestly, I'm not mad, and we also found out, Epona apparently is in that October DLC pack, which is cool, because people like fucking Epona. That's just a random side note, but I'm just saying, like, what? It's like this is what kind of this is the whole DLC argument in a nutshell. It's like some people want DLC, but some people have become so reliant on the damn thing that you ask for it before a game is even out. God damn, at least give the game a chance. And why? Once again, you guys are pretty much actively telling him that he should, you know, make things unbalanced. If you own the Wii U versions, you should automatically get everything better. And once again, as I said, the Wii version is going to trounce the 3DS on all levels anyway. So the one thing they're not, and people get mad. So I'm just saying, that's just my whole thing. I don't understand this obsession with DLC all of a sudden. I understand we've gotten some great deals and Nintendo's going at it in the right direction. But if you guys keep pushing and start fucking relying on it as much as you have, it turns into the Call of Duty type in which you feel like you're getting cheated. And then people are going to get fucking mad. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Don't start. Sucker DLC, Nintendo, just DLC everything. No, just chill out. Let them ease into it so they come at it the right way. Because if they come at it wrong, you're going to treat it just like every other piece of DLC on every other company and every other console. And I think we don't want that. We don't want to be spent. You don't want the Mario Kart 8 DLC to turn into fucking $6 per character and $3 per track. Do you? I don't think you do. Chill the fuck out. The game isn't even out for Smash, so shut the fuck up. And then enjoy what we have and let them ease into it. When you rush, you fuck up. And then look at the Wii U's launch. Just saying. Anyways, this has been the Insane Game Freak. Life's a game, play to win, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace off.